Okay, welcome to March's Planning's Mess. If you haven't watched my channel before, I tend to have trouble sticking to planners and systems. That's why I call this Planning Mess, because it kind of is jumping all over the place, figuring out what works for me on a sometimes daily basis. We are going to be reviewing what I've been using for 2025 and what I'm going to use for 2026 for my worship planners and journals. So let's get to it. So what I have here, these are Hobonichi Cousins, two of them from 2024. I purchased them this year, 2025. And I bought them because they were cheaper because they're outdated. Now, I am not using them as a planner, but what I was interested in was because everything is marked, like it's either, it's got a daily page with a date on it, or it's got a weekly page range, like the 52nd week or the 32nd week. And then it has this indexing system. I decided, and I watched somebody make a video on this, something similar that they did. It got me inspired that this would be a great way to have like my own, build my own Bible commentary. Well, that's probably the best way to describe this. So I basically took my book and divided it up. So up here, I've got numbers that correlate to which monthly page we're talking about. So 12A would be this one here, which is December. This is A, and this is December B. That's, of course, the 2023 year. And then you have Genesis, have mercy, January A and B. So there's January A and B. And I've just gone and whited out all the monthly stuff. I have not finished. And I haven't started working on reading through Genesis, so I haven't needed to. That's what it looks like when it's been whited out. This is what it looks like before. So anyway, and same thing with with these weeklies. I will just white out here and then do some stripes of whiting out here and maybe this, and then it would give me space to write out. So, but this is my index, so I figured out where I feel like there's certain books of the Bible where I need an entire page to review a chapter or comment on a chapter, and some I just need a half page, like Psalms. Some of those Psalms are pretty short, and I probably don't want a full page for it. So I kind of sat down, figured that out, did a lot of math. I'm a math planning kind of person. And so figured out where all that did. And I realized I would need 2 to 3 books. I was thinking 3 books originally when I was only planning on using the daily pages. When I realized that I could get a lot more, I could fit it all into 2 books if I would use the weekly and monthly pages and all the spare pages, then that's what I did. So I've got that roadmap in both of these. So this is book A. It's got the beginning of the year, I think, through Psalms, the first half of the Bible. This is Proverbs to Revelation. And so depending on which book, I kind of am jumping around so I don't kind of get overwhelmed. Like right now I'm in the book of Judges. So you can see in here, this was this morning's entry. I'm reading Judges 15. This is Samson. And so I'm just kind of taking notes, writing things down about that story. And then tomorrow I'll go in and I'll do Judges 16 and go through and write about it. So here's another one that I've done. Let's see. This is Ezra. And then I've got several that I've done in this book as well. So I'm just jumping around. This is going to take years to do. And that's okay. I have no timeline on this. This is not tied to any kind of yearly system. But this is just a Bible commentary that I'm making for myself. And I hope I'll find it useful. If not, it's still valuable time to me. Okay, then this is my worship planner. Planner, if you can get into calling it a planner. This is just the 500 and whatever page notebook in the N1 size. And I started drawing out calendars, and then eventually I just kind of got down to these more simplified ones because I was using the monthly section of my calendar and my other planners to write down what I was studying that day. So, I've missed a couple days I need to fill in here, but anyway, that's what this beginning section is about. Then I was like, oh, I want a prayer request section. And so I did that, and I was writing those down. And then I kind of started this in March of this year. And so this is kind of notes on what I'm studying or praying for. And so I've got these daily stickers. This was a sermon, so it took up a lot of space in here. But usually it's more like that. And then every day can be as long or as short as it needs to be. This was a Bible study that I went to that day. So you can see some of them are longer, some are shorter, and these stickers divide up the space so I don't have to stick to a certain, I won't have any wasted pages. And you can see this is what happens if I miss several days. I just kind of fill that in. Now, I started putting my prayer requests when I filled up that section mixed into this, which I like. A lot of that I really like. The problem is when I'm praying, a lot of times I like to go through all the prayer requests. I don't want to flip through the book constantly trying to remember, oh, does this person need to be moved on and continue to be prayed for, whatever. So I did this for a while, but I eventually decided to stop doing that. And so what I did was, here I'm working this direction to the book. So I thought, well, I'm going to go to the back of the book. And I figured out till the end of the year, I gave myself one page to put prayer requests on. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. So here I am, week 50. Wow. So I am not anywhere near finishing this book. I know it looks like it's about halfway, but it really isn't. These are just fluffy because I've written on them. So I probably have another year in this book, I would imagine. So when I came to that realization, this is where it started, week 27. So I decided to start working this direction. So this is my monthly page. It's got a place where I can write what I've done for every single day of the week or day of the month. And then I've got a weekly page for prayer requests. And I've kind of set it up where I've got the month and then the weeks and then the month and then the weeks. And I went through until we got to the end of July, just in case I fill it up. But I have a feeling I'm going to go farther than that. So they'll keep going until they meet each other. And when they meet, or at least almost meet, will be when it's time to start the next book. So I don't know how long this will last. It's not tied into anything. But I'll keep doing it at whatever pace I do it. And we'll fill up the book as quickly as we do. So the next time I start a book, I could always use a planner. I didn't really have use for the weekly section because it was never quite big enough or small enough for the prayers. I don't know. I could go to a horizontal or vertical planner for that moving forward. But anyway, this is actually working quite well. So I'm happy with how it is. And I also didn't want to be tied to a certain amount per day. So I'm going to use this till it gets used up and probably continue with it. When I ordered this, I actually meant to get the book that was half the size, like the 272, but either they were out of them or I accidentally ordered the wrong one. Who knows? I ended up with this. The other one would have been a little slimmer and easier to carry around, but this hasn't been bad. So that's what I'm using for my worship stuff, worship planner and Bible commentary for 2025 and probably through at least most of, or all of 2026. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this gave you some ideas if that's what you're interested in.